Hello, sports fans. This is the Bookmaker Podcast with Art Eftekhari, a.k.a. Mr. Bookmaker, your source for the sports betting industry 24/7. Sit back, relax, and listen as Mr. Bookmaker highlights what's happening right now in the world of sports. So, without further ado, here's your host, Art Eftekhari.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Bookmaker Podcast. I'm your host, Art Eftekhari. Glad you could join us. You know what time it is? Well, it's time for you to take your love of sports to the next level. And to do that, you got to get to our website right away, www.bookmakerinfo.com. That's bookmaker-info.com. First thing you got to do is download our Bookmaker Guide. You know it's available for you to download anytime. You got to read this not once, but at least 2 or 3 times so you can familiarize yourself with this whole entire betting process. And if you find the free time, go back to our very first podcast episode so that way you can learn about the history of bookmaking as well as the advantages of placing bets online. And to get things rolling here, we're going to start off with the English Premier League. And recently, I believe last Friday, on the 5th of May, Tottenham Hotspur really suffered a crucial loss on the road against West Ham United. And a few days later, no surprise, Chelsea got past Middlesbrough with an easy 3-0 victory. And right now, if you are a Chelsea supporter, these are exciting times. If Chelsea win their next match, they will find themselves claiming the 2016-17 English Premier League title. So like I said, exciting times for Chelsea fans, and their opportunity to do that will take place on Friday, the 12th of May, when they will face West Bromwich Albion away from home. And to check out the odds here, I am on Bwin.com. That's www.bwin.com. Let's check out what the bookmakers are saying here. So on that match between West Brom and Chelsea, remember it will be hosted by West Bromwich. The payout here shows plus 675, and for Chelsea, negative 277.78. Clearly, Chelsea are the favorites in that match. No surprise there. And like I said earlier, if they win, they will claim the English Premier League title. Now, as we're staying on the topic of the English Premier League, one thing that makes this league so exciting, and, you know, just soccer, football, depending where you are in these leagues in general, especially in Europe, is that we got the whole entire promotion relegation excitement. And right now, looking at the table, Middlesbrough and Sunderland have already been relegated. Sunderland dead last with 24 points, Middlesbrough second to last with 28 points. And for those of you who are big fans of the English Premier League, remember, it's the bottom 3 teams that get relegated to the Championship, which is the second level of English football. And right now, we're seeing that Hull City are currently in the 18th position with 34 points. Right in front of them is Swansea City with 35, Crystal Palace with 38. And right now, at this point of the season, you got, the fans of these teams really are worried because we all know nobody wants to get relegated. So let's take a look at the games that are also coming up this weekend that you'll want to pay attention to in case you want to play some bets. On Sunday, the 14th of May, Crystal Palace actually will be hosting Hull City. So take a look at the odds here. You have Crystal Palace positive 100, Hull City positive 290, and for a draw, positive 220. And for Swansea City, they'll be playing at Sunderland, who, like I just mentioned, are in dead last. So the payout here are the odds according to bwin.com. Positive 333 for Sunderland, negative 117.65 for Swansea City, and positive 240 in case you want to go for the draw. So like I said, it will be interesting to see what happens. These teams, like I just mentioned, do not want to get relegated. Nobody wants to go back to the Championship. And with that, I'm going to go to another website right now I just discovered. It's called betvictor.com. Yes, that's right. That's www.betvictor.com. And, at this time of the year when it comes to, football over in England, this is a very exciting time because now you're paying attention to the playoffs of the Championship. And for those of you not familiar right now with the leagues underneath the English Premier League, Newcastle United and Brighton Hove and Albion have already gained automatic promotion to the English Premier League for the 2017-18 season. But what about the playoffs? The teams that make the playoffs for the Championship are the teams that finish in positions 3 through 6. Of course, so the 3 team will host the 6th seed and the 4th seed will host the 5th seed. It will be a 2-leg playoff. But one difference here is that one thing here is that the away goals with aggregate scoring will not be factored into the playoffs for the English Championship. So let's take a look at our matchups here. Reading will be hosting Fulham. The first leg of that match will take place on Saturday, the 13th of May. Huddersfield Town will be hosting Sheffield Wednesday. The first leg of that two-leg playoff will take place on Sunday, the 14th of May. And here I am on betvictor.com. Let's take a look at the odds. So first, for Fulham versus Reading on Saturday the 13th, the odds here show 8-13 for Fulham, 3-1 for a draw, and 22-5 for Reading. So if you feel like, taking a risk or living dangerously, maybe you might want to place a bet on Reading. Or maybe if you want to play it safe, then I guess you want to go with Fulham. Now, for Huddersfield Town hosting Sheffield Wednesday, that's on Sunday the 14th of May, 11-8 for Huddersfield Town, 11-5 for a draw, and 85-40 for Sheffield Wednesday. For those of you who may not be paying attention to the English Premier League for a long time, well, Sheffield Wednesday many years ago were always in the top flight of English football, and their supporters would love to see them return there. And that's for sure. So let's see how that goes. You're definitely going to want to pay attention to those playoff matches, because of course the winners of those two playoffs will face each other in a one-game playoff at Wembley Stadium later in the month of May. And before we continue, make sure you check out our website. The address, bookmakerinfo.com. That's www.bookmaker-info.com. We want you to have easy access to the Bookmaker 101 basics, as well as steps on how to register, bet, and withdraw. Like I said earlier, the Bookmaker Guide is available to download. You got to read through this at least 2 or 3 times so you can become familiar with this entire process. We have betting strategies, tips, and don't forget to click on the A to Z sports betting lingo. Like I've said before, maybe you aren't an expert on sports betting, but do yourself a favor and read it. And now continuing on, it's time for me to show some love for some of the top Asian bookmaker sites. And the first one I'm at now is www.sbobet.com. Once again, that's sbobet.com. And the league I'm focusing on here is La Liga, the top level of football in Spain or España, whatever you want to call it. Taking a look at the table here, Barcelona is on top of the table with 84 points. And Real Madrid also have 84 points, but the problem here is that Real Madrid have played one less game than Barcelona, so clearly they have the upper hand here. And on Sunday, the 14th of May, Real Madrid will be hosting Sevilla. The bookmakers here are showing 1.18 for Real Madrid to win that game, 7.20 for a draw, and 12 for Sevilla. Obviously, Real Madrid are the heavy favorites here, but with Sevilla, you never know. They are 4th in La Liga. They might be able to cause some trouble. You just never know. As for Barcelona, they'll be on the road against Las Palmas. And the bookmakers are showing here that the payout for Las Palmas to win is 21, 9.25 for a draw. And for Barcelona, the payout would be 1.092. So clearly, Barcelona are the heavy favorites. They definitely need to win. They are hoping that Real Madrid will slip up. And for those of you who have been listening to every episode of the Bookmaker podcast so far, I just, looking back, there was a time when I mentioned that different bookmaking websites offer some odd bets at times. And I think a good idea here for a bet involving Barcelona will be whether or not Luis Suarez will bite someone. I mean, after all, he has done it before. And we are getting closer to wrapping up this edition of the Bookmaker podcast. But I am still in the mood for showing some love to one of the top Asian bookmaker sites, and that website I'm on right now is Dafabet.com. That's www.dafabet.com. I know we got fans of soccer or football all over the place, all over the globe. So right here, I'm taking a look at the Chinese Super League. So here I am on Dafabet.com, and you right away can see the odds for all the teams in the Chinese Super League to win outright. The favorites up at top, Guangzhou Evergrande, with the payout here shows 1.70, and for Shanghai SIPG, payout here shows 3.60. Now, before I go into some of the games that are coming up this weekend, take a look at the rosters real quick. For Guangzhou Evergrande, not a surprise that they are favorites, especially with midfielder Paulinho from Brazil, who definitely has been dangerous lately for the Brazilian national team, the Seleção. And what about for Shanghai SIPG? They're looking good. They have players like Hulk and, of course, Oscar, who not too long ago played for Chelsea in the English Premier League, and they also even have the midfield captain of Uzbekistan, Odil Ahmedov. So like I said, not a surprise that these two teams are the favorites at the top, and they currently occupy the top 2 positions in the Chinese Super League. As Guangzhou Evergrande has 19 points after 8 games played, and Shanghai SIPG have 17 points after 8 games played. So what are these teams doing this weekend? Well, let's check it out. On Sunday, the 14th of May, you have Guangzhou Evergrande on the road against Changchun Yatai. Dafabet here is showing For Guangzhou Evergrande, the payout here shows 1.53, and 5.69 for Changchun Yatai, and 4.31 for the draw. Clearly, Guangzhou Evergrande are the favorites here, despite being on the road. And as for Shanghai, they'll be on the road as well against Tianjin Teda. For Shanghai, the payout shows 1.81, 3.70 for a draw, and 4.21 for Tianjin Teda. So if you like going for the underdog, you might want to place a bet on Tianjin Teda. If you feel like going for the underdog more than once, you might want to place a bet for Changchun Yatai. And once again, that is Dafabet.com, www.dafabet.com. Don't forget it, Dafabet.com. All right, sports fans, and that is it for this edition of the Bookmaker Podcast. Really glad you were able to join us again. Don't forget to visit our website. That's bookmakerinfo.com. That's www.bookmaker-info.com if you want to have all the latest sports betting information right in front of you. Like I've said before, I'll say it again. You don't need to go to Vegas. You don't need to go to Macau. Stay safe, be alert, and take your love of sports to the next level by visiting bookmakerinfo.com.
This has been the Bookmaker Podcast with Art Eftekhari, aka Mr. Bookmaker. Thanks for listening. If you haven't already, please show some love by subscribing to this podcast on iTunes or Stitcher. Till next time, this is Mr. Bookmaker over and out.